This is Coach James Ewing, University of Arizona basketball. You are watching the Moneyball channel. Air down, baby. 716 stand up. Buffalo in the house.
I would just like to real quick give a shout out to Johnny Damon's A-Game beverage. Okay, this is similar to your Gatorade, your Powerade, all that good stuff. A-Game is now in the powder form. So just like Powerade, Gatorade, whatever, A-Game you're going to start seeing in aisles near you. Coach James Ewing joining me on the other end of things here, man. What is up, Coach Ewing, man? How are you?
Nothing much, day before Thanksgiving, we played last night. So coach blessed us with a little day out the office. So I've just been relaxing, trying to take it all in. It's been a busy week.
Man, you're a tough guy to pin down. Thank you so much, honestly, for taking the time. I appreciate it. You looks like you're still at the office, or is this the home office?
It's the man cave.
It looks nice. Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah.
nice setup, man. I love that you're repping Buffalo in the back there. And for anyone who doesn't know this, man, he is a Buffalo native. He's absolutely catapulted up the coaching ranks here. Damon, St. Bonnie's, UB, where you let him, to 30 wins, man. I think first time ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it might have been a school record. I'm not
I
sure.
think it was a school
Coach Jack,
record. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He's
Coach
being a
Jack,
little modest now. He's being a little modest.
yeah, Coach Jack put it on. I got to shout out Brian and Stride at my first gig too. Brian and
Oh, and
Stride,
Brian is
Buffalo.
okay.
So I can't never forget them. They got me started with Damone Brown and Brittany. So Brittany Perry's.
But you know what? You just saying that, man, already tells me a lot about your character. It does. When somebody goes back and they say that, when I'm given accolades and they say, well, hold on, I got to go back to that. It already tells me right from the jump. I'm like, this guy, that you don't forget where you come from, right? And anyone who doesn't forget where they come from and is a humble type dude, man, they're already scoring points in my book. And that's somebody that I want to be associated with. Becky Burke, obviously, you went out to the West Coast, you went out to Arizona with her. I mean, I don't know what this woman's got, up her sleeve, man, but she's doing some crazy stuff. I mean, she's just everywhere she goes, she seems to win.
Yeah.
And you guys were together in Buffalo, right?
Correct. When I met Becky, she actually just had a situation with her roster. She only had 4 players like on her roster. So when I came into the situation at Buffalo, she was like, "I need some players, and we need them quick." Like da da da. She had a plan. I had a plan, and it matched up perfectly. She the same type of person as me, pretty much. High passionate energy. We love the game. We love our young ladies, and if you know us and you ever see us, so we high energy, high passion. So
Yeah.
like her, I'm me, and together it's just like it's perfect,
But it
So
works out, right? It works out perfectly.
man, it
And you
worked out
gotta have
beautifully.
that chemistry, man. You gotta have that chemistry, coaching, coworker, whatever it is. Two people need to be able to almost finish each other sentences type thing, right?
Right.
You gotta be of like mind. You can't be battling and bickering about different ways you're gonna run things, whether it's offense, defense, whatever. I've had a lot of coaches on the show. I've had a lot of former and current players, and it's like it always comes down to one thing. Players remember the good coaches. Players go back and they say, man, I got to give a shout out to coach whoever, coach here, right? And they always remember the good coaches. It sounds like what you guys are doing fundamentally is just doing things the right way and coaching these young ladies not only to successful basketball careers, but it sounds like you're coaching them the right ways above and beyond. Not everyone's going to go play in the WNBA. Maybe a couple will, but you got to teach them how to be good humans too.
That's the key, and we want everyone to be successful off and on the court. So whatever I could do in life to help them, I'm always here. I got players still texting me from Buffalo.
Yeah.
What's up, I'm coaching now? Send me some stuff. It's just I'll keep in touch with everybody, even players that I had from my first gig. I always check check on them. They checking on me too. So
Yeah.
always talking trash. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. Keep me.
Well, but you build relationships, man, and you're still a
Right.
young man, so it's easier. I mean, I think Coach Burke's what, 35, 36 years old.
Yeah, yeah, and she right under me. She a year above me.
Okay, so I mean, so you guys are right. You're the same age
Yep,
too. So I mean,
correct.
that's another thing, being compatible even with age. So it's not like you have some 62-year-old coach and then a younger, because there's a different way to do things. You know what I mean?
Correct. She's new school. She's
Yeah.
tough, once you got, her habits and what she wants daily, like simple. She a
You,
simple woman,
you
so
can't have some Gene Hackman Hoosiers type thing going out there, man, and then some young man. So it ain't gonna work, right?
Right.
So you guys, you're off to a 5-0 start. How excited are you, man, about the season, about being out in Arizona? Probably some mixed emotions, right? About being out there and leaving Buffalo. But one thing I think people always got to say too, you're not out there forever unless you want to be out there forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I would say, yeah, it was definitely mixed feelings. I hated to leave, my house, the home,
Yeah.
7 6, because Buffalo is where I'm from. So
Yeah.
then what we did there, was just spectacular. Like, and I think we were gonna keep it going. Like, I think we had some recruits coming in, some transportal kids where it would have kept going. I think the crowd was behind and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
the city was behind us now. We got it, we had it rolling, just like they had it rolling with Felicia there before. I'm praying Coach Sharkey keeps it going. That's my girl. So, but yeah, transferring over here, when you just visit, I came on my work, I could say work visit, or
Yeah.
and Coach got me out here, and I just seen it. I was just like, how could you not? And it's such an easy sell, especially when I knew who was going to be on staff. Like, we keep it real with the recruits, so it's just like, as long as if you keeping it real and you got this great facilities and resources behind you, like, it's an easy sell. So, and like you said, recruiting now is built all of relationships. So, like, if you had a relationships, like, it's a no brainer for me. The toughest thing was just, leaving my family, and
Sure.
I got my kids out here with me, so them leaving their cousins and all that.
Oh
But they
yeah.
transitioned pretty well, so I'm happy. The family is good. They transition well, and everybody's well. But yeah, it's just been an amazing experience so far. Yes, 5-0, but we got to keep working because Big 12 ain't no joke. So
Oh, it's well.
every day you got to get better. This is no joke basketball. So
So that was a good segue, man, and I wanna bring something up. Me and Coach Halkovich, on the men's side have become pretty good friends. I mean, I know he was with Jay Wright Villanova. He came over and I started working with him, interviewed him, when he first came, had the season, where he kind of finished it off. Then he had a full season. Now it's, kind of 2.5 or year 3 type thing. And it's a struggle, right? And I had him on again, not too right before the Syracuse game. I saw Melo's son a few weeks ago. I was courtside for that, man. And Cayenne, man, that young man can shoot. He was in warmups, bro. He didn't miss one shot. I mean, he was just silk, right? He didn't miss one shot. And then the game started. He did well too, but he literally didn't miss a shot in warmups. And Lala was there supporting him. It was pretty cool, man. And to have that in Buffalo too. But I caught him right before they came out onto the court, and I said, "What is different this year?" Now, the men's program and the women's program. I said, I love the man. He's great, and I think he's going to make some changes to this program. There were more fans going out and supporting, this ladies team, and a lot of it, I feel like, was the success and the record, and some of it was the energy, and some of it was just the vibe or the tempo, the atmosphere, right? Just the energy in the room, if you will. And I know with NIL, with everything else that's going on, man, I think, and I know obviously you're on the women's side of thing, but I want some feedback on you with the men's side of thing. Like, what do you think they need to do? Is there even a chance at this point, with recruiting being as tough as it is now, MAC and everything else, right? How can this men's program get turned around to a point where it's not like 500 or a game or two over, where it's just, we're back to that 6, 8 years ago type thing?
right. I truly. So you just talking about UB men in general, or just?
Yes, yeah,
I think truthfully, if I've been watching George this year, and I truthfully think he has the players that fit him now.
yeah,
Players that he understands,
yeah,
players that understand him.
yeah,
And that's where I think the buying was the first couple of years. But like, I watching them play, and they won it over. I mean, they won at the buzzer today.
yeah.
And I think they have young men that listen to him, and actually they understand each other. So it's no miscommunication. Sometimes it's that's where you got to recruit players that fit you. And just not like,
A great point. It's a
just not the person that wants the highest paid money because of the highest paid stats. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
That's what I'm real in particular about here at Arizona. You got to make sure the person fits Becky. If you can't get coach hard, if you're not gonna go be in the gym all the time,
Yeah,
or if you're not gonna play hard, you're gonna take plays. You don't fit Becky. So I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
here. I don't care if you're ranked or you're the highest paid, you got this,
yeah.
that. It's not gonna work.
Such a killer
They'll be
point,
on the
man.
next bus home.
Such a killer point because, I think a lot of times when people are recruiting, they'll say, "Oh, where she was eighth in the nation at this. She was fourth in the nation at this," right? Well, that's not automatic, that's not automatic that she's going to come and fit in there. So you do make a really good point, man. And I think, is that more important in your opinion, having people that are all going to connect and have that similar attitude and, that mentality? Because you never want that one person, even if they're a lights out, man. They could be, it could be the women's version of LeBron James or the next men's version of LeBron James. But if they're just not coachable and they're not somebody that you want, they can be a toxic, right?
It can be because if you got a top scorer coming in who's gonna shoot the third ball 30 times and nobody else touched the ball, like the team doesn't have chemistry. They don't know how to play with her. You know what I'm saying? She's not running through the sets correctly. Like it's not a good shot within a set. And it just throws a team off. So I just think you gotta have people that's like-minded people, but understands your offensive system and can play within that offensive system and get their shots and understand it. So everybody got to be willing to buy in.
It's a very cerebral answer and it makes a lot of sense, and that's kind of like that for any sport, but sometimes, especially, man, with college and the way that things have changed with NIL and just where people want to be recruited. There was a time when NFL players, Jim Kelly even, right, go back to that, they wouldn't come to Buffalo. I mean, that dude would rather not play. He went to the USFL rather than come to Buffalo and play, right? And I've said that for years, it being in Orchard Park, and we're switching, obviously, I'm talking about football. But,
Right.
there's no, you got these kids, you can wine and dine them, steakhouses in Vegas or something, right? First round draft pick. And then you take them to Orchard Park. You got the Maple Court Inn across the street, right? So there's a lot of it there too. So I think it's just the willingness for them to play and want to win any circumstance. How do you find, because college, man, it's so young and these kids are so impressionable. What is the biggest difference, the men's game versus the women's game, when it comes to that? The egos and that end of things,
I truthfully think on the women's side, as far as recruiting, they care about their education. They want to know like the school of business, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So they serious about the education, and you gotta have that relationship with them. If you have a relationship, or you have a relationship with their high school coach, AAU coach, or anybody that's close to them, like they're gonna trust that. That's gonna be a real consideration, as in where on the boys' side, it could be different for everybody, but like usually how many shots, what jersey number I got, are we Nike,
Yeah.
this all the stuff it's the names on the back of the jersey. This is what I thought about when I was a kid coming out of IMG. So like
Yeah, I mean, you were there playing, man. Yeah.
yeah, how many fans y'all get? Oh, okay, cool. All
Yeah.
right. And what offense you playing inside out? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, okay, I could get my shots from there. Like, it's like usually women, they really don't ask too much about basketball.
Yeah.
But then like now I'm at Arizona, like they want to be pros. So like what's the player
That's
what's the player development? Like what are we doing off season? What are we so it's good. Like, yeah, I love it because it's serious. Women's game is growing. But that's the difference I would say between the men and the men and the women. And then a dollar point, I think would be like the last thing like you really discuss on the women's side, as in it might be the first thing you discuss on the men's side. So
yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense as well. I think, I've been interviewing some of the basketball, the WNBA. There's a few women on the hit list that I want to get on the show. The WNBA has the backing of the NBA, you know what I mean? And it's come a long way, right? Like WNBA now, man, finally, like the endorsements and the money these ladies can make. And,
the crowd.
a ton. And Caitlin Clark did a lot for that, but a lot of the other girls, even back Brittany Griner, man, before all the Russian prison stuff, man. I mean, she was the big name, back then. And that's what I followed. And I think people don't understand. Sometimes WNBA has been around a long time, right? I mean, 20 years or so.
It's been around. I actually have a couple WNBA people on my staff. Michelle Marciniak, she played at the University of Tennessee with Pat Summitt, and she was
Okay,
drafted.
really?
Yeah, she was drafted into the WNBA, and I want to say like, was it one of the first years of it just getting started when she was drafted?
Yeah, that would make sense, especially with Pat Summitt and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then also Julie Hargrove, who was on our staff, she won 3 WNBA championships with the Mercury. So she was with Diana Taurasi her whole career, Brittany Griner, and all that.
Yeah.
Just seeing her rings in the next office took mine, like, yeah,
So
like,
they're on the staff with you?
yeah, they're at Arizona with me right now. Yep.
See, and that's got to be so influential though to the girls playing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you are talking to somebody who was with Diana Taurasi and
Yeah.
worked her whole way with her, so from start to finish. So that's pretty cool. And just to hear the stories on the training process and she just our head of player development here. If you don't got one of the best, I don't know what to tell you. So she a good
Oh,
person.
when you first got over there, was it like a different world? Was it like, whoo, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I thought everything looked fake. It looked like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I'm just going through the campus on the golf. I'm like, this seems like a dream. Like it was just wild, man. It was really wild. People laying out everywhere, walking everywhere. It's
Yeah.
just like what is going on? Just West Coast is just so different from the East Coast in
So
general. And the one thing like with the handshakes when you slap somebody up, they always go like this and pound it at the end. He's like I can't get that down. Like it's just like, oh no, it's just
dude, you are funny. It is though.
it's just different.
It's
It's different.
little things, right? There's little
Yeah,
things that are
it's
so
different
different.
styles.
And
Different.
right now, bro, I can tell you that it's the night before Thanksgiving, and biggest party night of the year, whatever, man. I'll be home. It's 3 hour difference, whatever, 2 hour. I'll be home getting the kids into bed, and this is what I do now. But I mean, Buffalo still has that like old school. Okay, we got to go out and do this and make a party out of it. I think when you're out west Arizona, there's so much to do all the time. Like with that weather being nice, and there's always something to do. You want to go take a walk, a bike ride, a this or that, and you're so limited in Buffalo. And again, not to sit and beat Buffalo up, but it's like it's got to be refreshing, to be out there.
Right. Well, I will say this though, because I left home several times throughout my
Yeah,
life.
you were overseas and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I will say this: Buffalo is what you make of it. Buffalo, when Chippewa was back in the day, it was a time. I would say the only thing Buffalo was missing, because I say you can live it up to 5 a.m. You can eat late, good food late night,
Oh
and
yeah,
then I think Buffalo was just missing an NBA team and one like huge club. Like Miami has one big club that everybody goes to. I think that's what the only thing we was missing, to be honest. And because our food is impeccable. Like when you leave home, you be like, I can't wait to come home. Pizza, wings,
yeah, yeah.
steak hoagies. Like, oh my God. It's just certain things that
All that unhealthy food.
it's so unhealthy, but it's so good and craveable. I miss it.
You miss it right now, man. I might have to get some.
Uh
I might have
yeah.
to ship some wings out. Some Elmo's is a big sponsor of mine, dude.
Elmo's is great. The double decker. Come on, man.
Bro, Elmo's is a big sponsor of mine, so I take a lot of guests over there, man, and I switch them because they all say Bar Bill or
I like Barbell too, though.
they're all right, but Elmo's has got it, man. They're like the hidden little gem in Buffalo, in my opinion.
I
Cleo
do
Mack kind of put them on the map.
Yeah, I like it because it's real. It's perfect. I
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
it's this little dive bar, and
I
it's
love
great.
it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. That's just Buffalo. Like, and a lot of wing spots that's good is like that. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
you got to go for it. So I will say this: that the Buffalo, the food, man. You just miss the food,
Yeah, I
man.
could tell you're missing it right now, man. I might have to ship a little something to you. How is a couple more, man? I'll let you go for the evening. How is the dynamic, I guess, and this is not just you, this is a lot of coaches, because this is the having, a man or a couple men on the staff, whether it's head coach and vice versa, whether that's assistant and head vice versa. What are the differences with that, from your experience? And like I said, man, you played in Belize, you played in a lot of places, and man, you were a heck of a player, Toledo, everything else, right? But do you ever notice, I guess, pros and cons, or is there just really, do you not even really think about that?
I haven't really thought about it. I'm the only male on staff right
Oh, you
now.
are really okay.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, yeah,
um, I'm with like-minded people like me. So as long as if you with people like you, I think they understand you. So better than anything. I did work for a male head coach before, and sometimes I think he has some trouble connecting.
yeah,
Just like what I just said about Coach G. The players that fit him.
yep,
So
yep, yep,
it's just hard. It's hard. I truly like. I learned from my experiences. I truly think you need to get players that you connect with,
yeah,
because those players that you connect with, and once you have that connection, will go through the wall for you.
yeah,
It's hard. They'll go through the wall. They'll stand up to you. They listen to everything you say. It's like a sponge. So, and just like I got a boss that I work for that I got a connection with, and I'll go hard for her. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You
Yeah,
want
and
to
I
go.
want
Yeah,
to. It's just like it's not like it's my job. Yeah, it's my job, but I love what I do because if
right.
I didn't have that connection with Becky. I was like, "Oh, I'm dreading this. I gotta do
Sure.
this
Yeah.
with her." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no,
You're not doing it just to
I
go in and get a
like
paycheck. Yeah.
yeah, like, I love my connection. I love going to work every day. Like, it could be people in a different situation, like, they'll be like, "Man, I can't wait for this year to be over." Like, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
and you're right, man, because he did say that, you know, when I spoke to him before this year, he made a point of what you're saying. He was like, "I finally have some people that I think are really gonna buy into the system that we have here," you know? There were a couple cats last year on the team that, you know, and I won't name names at all, but people that I expected a whole lot more from. It's kinda
What's
one of those
important
things.
to you? What's important to you, you
You
know?
know? It's tough though, like, again, I think you said it, when you have that really, really good family foundation here, right? You know, sometimes it's easier for people who maybe aren't real close with their families, you know, or they're a little estranged or whatever, you know? Like me personally, I don't have a ton of family here, so for me, be okay to go, but when you have your roots here, you know, and you grew those things deep into the ground, man, it is hard to get up and go, and that's what, you know, it's always one of those things, man, where it's permanent if you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? But you go, you show and prove, dude, and keep doing what you're doing. And I think you're turning a lot of heads right now, man. Both you and Coach Burke. But I mean, that happened last year. It happened, you know. So the trajectory of what's going on. Would you want a head coaching job down the road?
I'm truthfully, I would wanna be a head coach, but I'm not rushing it. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
truly
You're young.
I truly think like with every year of experience, you learn different things. You go through what you like, what you don't like. A lot of most of the time with Coach Burke, it's 90% I do like.
Yeah.
And yeah, we really don't have no dislikes. So like,
Right. Right.
but yeah, I just want to keep learning. I won't rush it. Like some people be like, I'm rushing it to be a head coach. It's just like when your coach clock start, it starts. Like
Right.
your
Well,
record do not erase. Like so,
it's
like
careful what you wish for too, right? You know.
so you wanna be make sure you make sure it's the right situation for you, make sure, like, that AD is in place and over there or wherever the school would be if you being a head coach, like, it all matters, and
So it's a smart answer. You don't wanna be a head coach just to go be a scapegoat somewhere.
right,
You don't wanna go to that 2-31 team and
eh,
think you're gonna turn them around in a year.
right, and it gotta be the right situation. I told Becky, "If we could be like Chris and Gino, I'm cool with that, like, I could spend 40 years with you, I don't care. I'm
It's wild
stressing,
how
like, I'm happy whatever I'm happy at, I'm cool."
you seem very chill. You're just kinda soaking it all in and enjoying it, and, this has been a pleasure, man, just kinda getting to know you a little bit. Like I said, I'm real glad that we got to connect. Well, due to some inclement Buffalo weather, as we are expecting a blizzard tomorrow, today is the night before Thanksgiving 2025. The interview was cut short by some faulty internet on the part of the Moneyball channel. Hope you enjoyed the interview. Great guy, very charismatic. He definitely knows his place and where he wants to be with this team moving forward. And great coach. You can tell he's humble, but he's very serious about what he's doing. So hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to Coach James Ewing for joining us. And yeah, we'll catch up soon. Thanks.